How do you feel about having a meaningful discussion with a complete stranger? For some, this may seem a little overwhelming. After all, when it comes to speaking section part 3, you are not only going to be having a discussion where you share and are expected to share your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinion. You are going to be tested on how well you do it. So let me mention a couple of things to think about when it comes to this challenge. First of all, think of the examiner as your friend, at least for the moment. You've already spent a few minutes with them. They're not a complete stranger anymore. You've answered some introductory questions, and you've given your talk. Hopefully you'll feel a little more at ease and understand that they really do want you to do your best. Second, you will be sharing your thoughts, feelings, and opinion, but it's important to realize that you are not being tested on the content or the validity of your opinion. You are only being assessed on your ability to express yourself in English. Section 3 is a follow-up based on the same topic as your talk in Section 2. So as you answer questions, understand that they will be a little more challenging and require a little longer response than the introductory questions you answered earlier. On the other hand, they will not be as long or as in-depth as the talk you gave in Section 2. They will be a balance of both of the previous sections. But remember, you will have already given some thought to the topic as you prepared your talk for Section 2. So I'd like to share 3 tips to help you in your preparation for speaking Section 3. The first thing to realize is that you don't have to rush, and it will be tempting. After all, this could be the last few minutes of your IELTS exam. You're near the finish line. It's almost over. You might want to finish as quickly as possible. Make sure, however, to extend your answers by adding extra details and even add an example of why you hold a certain opinion if possible. And the next thing to realize is that it's important to answer the question you are being asked. So listen carefully to the question and give the best response you can. And this is why it's so important not to try and memorize set answers or memorize responses ahead of time. And this is because you are being assessed on fluency. You know, sometimes we get the wrong idea about what it means to be fluent. Fluency is not the ability to speak perfectly with the absence of mistakes. Fluency is the ability to adapt and adjust your speaking as you go. It's the ability to correct and change your responses as you go along. If you feel you didn't say something as clearly as you would have liked, say it again in a slightly different or improved way. Your goal is to approach the questions naturally and spontaneously. And finally, make sure you are clear about what you are being asked. Did you know that it's okay to ask the examiner questions? There are 3 different questions that you can ask. Number 1, can you repeat that question, please? If you're not clear, ask the examiner to repeat the question to make sure you understand. And sometimes doing this can also give you a little extra time to think about the answer. You can also ask, can you explain what you mean? Here you're asking the examiner to rephrase the question. And maybe by hearing the same question in a different way will help you to form a better response. And the third thing you can ask is, can you explain what a word means? If you hear a word in the question and you don't understand the meaning or the vocabulary, it's okay to ask the examiner to explain it. It's important to know that you will not be penalized for asking questions. You won't lose marks. It won't affect your score. But the right question at the right time may improve your score. It's also important, however, to realize that you can't do this for every question. You are limited to asking 2 questions overall. So if you really need to, ask, but don't do it unless absolutely necessary. And I just want to leave you with one more helpful tip, and it has to do with grammar. The simplest way to know what type of grammar to use in your answer is to use the same grammar as in the question. If the question is about the future, use a future form. If it's a hypothetical question, use conditional. And if it's about a change that's taken place, you will want to use comparisons. You know, the third section of the speaking section may very well be the most challenging and stressful. And I hope you found these tips helpful. I hope you will find that they alleviate some of the pressure and stress. Well, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments or reach out to me by email. At the end of this video, you will see some more videos about the speaking section. So be sure to subscribe to this channel for even more tips and techniques for the IELTS exam. If there is a specific question or topic you would like answered when it comes to the IELTS exam, you can also leave that in the comments, and I will use your idea for future videos. And if you would like to receive weekly emails with tips and announcements of upcoming courses and future events, you can join my email list by leaving your email address in the comments. You know, my mission is to help as many people as possible, just like you, get the score they need on the IELTS exam and to realize their dream for the future. And if you follow me on Facebook, it will also give me the chance to support you as best I can. All the links to reach out to me are in the comments section. And I want to wish you all the best on your journey as you prepare for the IELTS exam.